Hi guys, what's up? Jack here. Hope you're having an amazing day. I certainly am. And today I wanted to talk to you about intent and why it's so important in your interactions with women. Now, the majority of guys do not have any intent. That's because the majority of guys, whether they're going out to a bar, nightclub, lounge, or just walking around during the day, they do not make any approaches, and they just look at women having no intent. Now, they may want to talk to that woman, but they don't show her, their intent. They don't approach. They don't do anything. They may give some eye contact, some leering, but they're not communicating any intent to her. So that's the worst thing you can have, because it doesn't lead anywhere. It doesn't let the girl know you find her attractive. It doesn't let her know that you're a sexual human being. It just you pass by even though you may be looking at her, and yeah, no intent is the worst thing you can have. Now, if a guy does make an approach and he does approach a woman, it's usually with a friendly intent. He comes up and he says, "Hey, I see you're reading this book," or "Hey, I see you're sitting here. Are you waiting for a friend?" And they try to come in all friendly and building rapport. So their intent is to kind of be your friend. They don't communicate that they're interested in her. They kind of come under this pretext of, "Hey, I want to be your friend." So that's the friendly intent. Even though the girl knows that if you approached her, chances are high that you're interested in her. A few girls, think that you actually want to be their friend for real. And if you're a stranger, she kind of knows what's up. So it's better not to do that, not to go in with the friendly intent. The other intent is socializing. So you can go in a social context. Like, you're not trying to be your friend. If you see her in a bar or club, you just kind of interact, but you don't have that building a rapport tonality like that goes up, that, "Hey, what's up? How are you?" Or, "Hey, what's going on? I really like those shoes," or something that's, very friendly and trying for rapport. You're more neutral. So if you go in with a socializing intent, she's just kind of there and you're interacting with her because you're in a public place and you're just interacting. You're not trying to build rapport with her. If you're interacting with her, you may be even teasing her, or kind of like just having a good time laughing with your friends. And if she's there, you kind of just socialize. So that's a way better intent than the previous ones, because it just shows her you're a social human being. Now, the last type and the most important type is a sexual intent. This is where you're communicating with a man to woman, and you don't have to do it verbally. That's why the guys who are really advanced, this is where they're playing the game, in the sexual intent zone. And they're not communicating sexual intent through their verbals. Although you can do sexual intent, you can communicate it through, talking. That's like the worst method to communicate sexual intent. A better one would be through your eye contact, through your tonality, and through your body language. And basically, when you're communicating with sexual intent, you're showing her that you're very comfortable around her, especially if she's an attractive woman, and that she does not intimidate you. So what do most guys do when they go up to a really hot girl? They're really nervous. Their tonality is all over the place. It's fluctuating. They're going, "Oh, do you like this bar?" It's going all over the place. So that's the mistake they're making. They're nervous. They're showing her they're not used to being around a woman that's attractive. This shows that they haven't had sex with that many women. Possibly haven't had sex with any of the attractive ones. Otherwise, why would they be intimidated by her? They'll fidget a lot of times, like they'll play with their drink, or they'll have these fidgety hand movements, or they'll dance in a fidgety way. So when you go up to a girl that's really hot, communicating sexual intent, you basically talk to her. You can do neutral rapport to breaking rapport, still be positive, but look at her in the eye. That's very important. and cut the space between the two of you. So you're showing her you're very comfortable being in her space. You're not staying way, the hell, like 3, 4, 5, 6 feet away from her. You're very close to her. Your eye contact is very, man to woman. And you're basically communicating that, yes, I find you attractive. That's why I'm talking to you. And you're not doing it in a creepy way like most guys, like they're leering. They're like, hey, what's going on? Like they're doing a creepy sexual intent. You just want to show her that you're comfortable. That's the intent you want to convey. It's kind of like you being around, girls that are your friends. You're very comfortable. You're teasing them. You're very comfortable looking at them. You don't make it a big deal when you start touching them or putting your hand around them. It's not like this thing where you're like being all creepy and leery, like, hey, how you doing, or some creepy shit like that. So I want to tell you that you want to eventually get to the place where you're communicating more of your sexual intent off the bat. Now, some of these girls won't like that you're communicating very sexually right off the bat. You have to kind of play around with it. Like I said, some girls don't like it and you'll lose them, but you have to be fine with that, because the girls that do appreciate it, it'll just have such a strong impact from that first moment you're communicating with her sexually. If you want to try a safer way, I guess you can socialize. Tyler from RSD does this really well. He's very in the social intent category. So he's just kind of going out and having fun. He's being social and he's not trying to build rapport with a girl. He's just kind of having fun and they're having fun together. So his intent, he's communicating social intent the majority of the time. There's not that sexual tension. When you're communicating sexual intent, that's how you build sexual tension. And Julian from RSD, he doesn't even do sexual tension. He does what I think of is interactional tension. So he'll do stuff that's kind of awkward on the girl, and then he'll kind of like hold that tension to where it shows, hey, I'm not intimidated by you. I'm comfortable being around hot girls like you. He had a lot of stuff before he had the whole CNN debacle, and he had to apologize and everything, to where he would go and be like, dog, you're a dog. And, some girls would be like, what the hell? But he's comfortable holding that tension. Like when she shit tested him back, a lot of girls did shit test him. He'd be like, you're a dog. That's all you are. No, bark for me. And he has such a strong frame. And it's that tension he's building, but it's more of an interactional tension rather than a sexual tension. So, yeah, when you go up, you want to have a type of intent. A lot of guys just approach, but they don't know where they're going. They don't know if they want to be friendly. They don't know if they're being social, and they're definitely not being sexual. So you want to strive to be more sexual. And like I said, at first you might come across creepy because you don't know how sexual to go. You may get a little too sexual to where the girl's like, oh, whoa, you're weirding me out. So you want to pull back, or you may be a little too try hard. But I would say start social and then gradually transition to sexual. Now, I don't always go in with a sexual intent. It depends a lot how you're feeling, how horny you are in the moment. Sometimes, especially if you're doing nofap, you'll have the ability to communicate sexual intent way easier than if, you masturbate daily. Because after 10 days of nofap, you're going to be more sexual. You're going to be hornier. You're going to communicate that, hey, I'd like to have sex, and you're going to show her that you're comfortable about being around girls that are, as hot as her because you've had them in the past. So it's the difference between, being around, going up and talking to a stranger, which a lot of people don't feel very comfortable with. They're tense. There's a lot of tension. They don't feel comfortable looking them in the eye. There's a lot of fear, anxiety, and all this is subcommunicated through eye contact, facial expressions, tonality in their body. And then there's you going up to your best friend, which you're just kind of like joking, like, hey, what's up, bro? Boom, boom, boom. It's all smooth and it's all good. And you never feel like they're judging you. You never feel scared. You never feel tension. You never feel awkward. You're totally at ease. So that's kind of what you want to take what you have with your best friend, that same feeling, that same level of acceptance. And it's really hard to do because, like, most people, I think everyone wants to be loved, everyone wants to be accepted for who they are, and they kind of have that fear when they go up and they are really truly their authentic selves, that they're going to be judged, they're going to get hurt, somebody's going to, be like, oh, you're a loser, or be like, oh, shut up, or they're really afraid of others' judgments and what others think of them. And a lot of times it's all in their heads, because most people aren't going to be mean to you unless they're assholes. I'm not saying there aren't some assholes or some bitches out there, but majority of people are cool. I think, like, 95% of the people, if you just go up and talk to them, they would be cool. I mean, some will feel a little awkward, but if you're just cool and relaxed, eventually they'll buy into your frame of mind. But yeah, that's why you want to go up just being your authentic self, being open, and not worrying about whether they're going to accept you or reject you. You're not going to make everybody like you. You should be fine with that. You should be fine with people not liking you and judging you. And the majority of people won't judge you, and they'll be cool with you if you're just cool with yourself and just go up and interact. But yeah, gradually you want to move on to having sexual intent with women, so they know that you're not just there to be their asexual friend that they go shopping with. You want them to know that, hey, this is a guy that is interested in me. And you're not saying that with your verbals. You're not saying, hey, yeah, I like you. No, you want to do it more with your eye contact, your body. A guy who's really good at this, I believe, is James Marshall. I think he's very good at communicating his sexual intent. Now, he's also a good-looking guy, so he's going to have that attraction come easier for him when he makes the approach. But yeah, he's good at that. So kind of like he'd be a good guy to model for this. Now, if you want, like I said, a safer way, it would be just the social intent type. And that is a safe way, but eventually you want to transition to the sexual way, because she needs to know that you are interested and you are a man and you do have, penis in between your legs. I hope most of you do. Otherwise, stop watching my videos, because there's no point. Yeah, and if a guy who does sexual, he kind of does sexual verbalization, like he doesn't show his intent through his body language or eye contact, or tonality, is Todd from, I believe he's calling himself Todd Valentine right now. He's a former RSD instructor. I believe he does too much with his verbals. He should be using more of his body language and eye contact. And one day I'll do a breakdown of his game as I've seen it in the videos. But I've seen a few videos. My friend bought The System by Todd, which I thought was pretty cool. I think he breaks down game very well, but he does too much talking. I think, like, a lot of those girls he could have isolated, way sooner than he actually did. He did too much verbalization. A lot of times that verbalization and these back and forths and push pulls and teases, too much of that can fuck up your game, because you just seem to try hard. So anyway, concentrate on being more sexual. Communicate it through your eye contact, bedroom eyes, talking a little slower, lowering your tonality. And you can come in social and make the transition really quick. I've actually found this is most of the time, this is the most effective method, especially for me. But I'm also in Europe, so girls here kind of like that masculine presence. They're used to it a bit more than, I guess, in the United States. But in the United States, where it's mostly, all these beta boys, they just want a real man. So I think if you were to go a little sexual right off the bat and put yourself out there, it would have a better effect than kind of hiding behind just being friendly or having no intent at all. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Check out my website. It's datingarchitect.com. And there are more great articles on that, more great content, and go out and pimp it, man. Don't just watch my videos. Get out there and talk to some ladies. Peace.